In my opinion, it gets bad when you want to compete. You wind up getting overuse in the shoulders, overuse in the knees, and on top of that, you wind up getting a lot of impact. Like in my opinion, if CrossFit started all over again. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today, we're gonna be talking about balanced, sustainable, and effective training, because one of the things that I hear all the time is that everybody believes that they need to spend more time in the gym than anyone else. They need to outwork everybody to get to the body that they truly want. And if you guys saw my video from last week, I actually break down the exact amount of training volume that you need for your specific goals. So for some of you, it's literally only 3 days a week in the gym. For some of you, it's 4, and for some of you, it's 5 and potentially maybe 6. Really depends on how long you guys have been training for. So in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you guys some actionable steps and some really belief-breaking material that I'm talking to my VIP clients about, so that you guys can take this information and truly just go out there and start fucking absolutely crushing. So check it out, guys. I spent 10 years beating the living shit out of my body in the sport of CrossFit because there was a point, yes, there was a long duration of that where I really just wanted to be a really competitive athlete, and I was okay with beating the hell out of my body. But there was also a section of that where I truly believed that I needed that style of training to get to the body that I wanted and to even maintain the body that I wanted. And at the end of the day, I didn't know anything about training volume. I didn't know anything about like the quality of movements that I was doing. And I didn't really know anything about like giving my body a break or like any of the things that actually make my body actually change, right? We just think that we need to do more. And that's what's eventually gonna give us the body that we want. And it's really just a negative mindset that's really just not good. Because if you guys have seen the video from last week and seen some of my other videos where I break some of this stuff down, there's a very real point of diminishing return where you're just doing too much. And it might be fun, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna be giving the result that you want. I really like the one comparison where you talk about like a sprinter versus a marathon runner. The sprinter is doing very actionable, short, intense work, and it's very, very goal-oriented towards what he's doing, and it's very short and intense. It's like, he's not spending all day doing this stuff, whereas the marathon runner is spending a significantly more time, and it's potentially more impressive because he's spending so much time and doing so much work, but his body is not reaping the same reward as the sprinter. Obviously, right, they have two different goals, and because he's a marathon runner and all the work that he's doing is actually reflecting what he really wants to do, but it's not giving him the body that he truly wants. And it's the same thing though when it goes to going to the gym, because when you spend hours and hours and hours in the gym, you might have some impressive lifts. You might, it might be impressive what you're able to do during that time. Like maybe you're lifting more weight cumulatively, more than everybody else. Like you're doing more training volume, but you're not going to reflect that. It's a very good comparison because the sprinter is the person who's spending the 60 minutes in the gym doing all the right things, and the marathon person is this person who's spending 3-4 hours a day in the gym, and they just don't really look like they work out. So some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this video is me breaking down stuff like that so you guys can break the beliefs that you guys have in your head, and you guys can start getting the body of your dreams and start absolutely crushing. So if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Enjoy this video. I would say 90% of gym owners out there who have CrossFit gyms, they want to compete. They want their members to want to compete, but the reality is that most of them don't. They just want to like have a community and have a cool place to work out and have fun and do stuff that's challenging. In my opinion, it gets bad when you want to compete. If you're doing like one class a day, not really a big deal. But if you're doing like a class and you stay after and do like an extra hour of stuff, or even if you do it, I think for years and years on end, depending on the person who's programming it, you're usually having overuse of certain body parts. So you wind up getting like overuse in the shoulders, overuse in the knees. You just wind up doing a lot of repetitive movements. And on top of that, you wind up getting a lot of impact. So people are doing tons and tons of box jumps, running with box jumps, or like a butterfly pull-up, like mixed with like a snatch, like where you start kind of overtraining the shoulder girdle. You just wind up getting a lot more injuries typically, and then a lot of the impact from the running and the box jumps, and then the Olympic lifting on top of that, and the double unders, like just a lot of impact kind of compounding. You'll wind up getting a little bit more like achy in your training. Like you'll wake up the next day and feel like, fuck, I got hit by a bus. Versus like, I'm sore. Those days will start to come more often than not when you start to get kind of carried away with like functional training. I shouldn't even say functional training because like a really good functional training program wouldn't do that. Like in my opinion, if CrossFit started all over again, Olympic lifts would be gone. Handstand push-ups would be gone. People would just be doing squats, deadlifts, presses, assault bike, rower, running, strict pull-ups. We'd be doing bodybuilding stuff like in the freaking conditioning pieces. I just think it'd just be much better for the common person, and they'd get a lot faster results. There's really no need to teach someone how to do a movement versus just show someone how to do a movement. Like when people are coming to get fit, it's like I could show you how to do a deadlift, or I can show you how to do a squat, but I have to teach you how to do a snatch or teach you how to do a power clean. And a power clean and a snatch are not going to make someone aesthetically look better, but it is going to make them perform better. But for what? The average person is not performing when they go to their desk and become an accountant for 8 hours a day. It's just like they don't need to perform. They need to look good, feel good, and want to do that again tomorrow versus like their shoulders falling off the bone. There's definitely smart ways to do it. It's just that when you go to a gym, you're most likely not going to be getting that kind of program. And then even most people who are programming it, let's say that they're doing like a one-on-one coaching program and they're programming a lot of CrossFit. If they are, they're doing it because they're a competitor and they think that other people are going to benefit from their competitive style program. Because if you knew a lot about training and nutrition, you wouldn't give a CrossFit style program to anyone who is looking for just straight results. Like, it's so much easier to do with just regular lifting because we can track the numbers. We know you're getting stronger. We know that you're doing an extra set. We know you're doing more repetitions. When you're doing like a Metcon one day and another Metcon the other day, and they're all constantly varied, there comes a time where you just can't measure the progress. It doesn't mean that you can't get progress. It just makes it very difficult to measure. At the end of 3 months, I can't guarantee you that you're going to look a lot better. I can guarantee you're going to feel a lot better, be able to perform better. I just can't guarantee you're going to look better. I made a tweet the other day and it was about like overtraining, and it's like, it's the same as like watering a plant. There's just enough water that like makes the plant grow. But if you overwater the plant dies. It's the same thing with training. Like if we all just decided to hop under the squat rack and do calf raises right now, or even just do back squats, either one, we could all do probably like 50 reps and be like with like 70% of our max in like a 10-minute time window, we'd be dead, like destroyed. And you'd be really, really sore for days. And you'd recover, and you could probably do it again. But if I said, let's do 200 reps, you'd be fucking destroyed for days. And it would take you a really long time to come back and even be able to attempt that again. If you even come back, you might literally just be like destroyed and then like not be able to work out for like a week, right? Or something like that. And then now, for how long it takes you to actually come back, if we take all that training volume from like the next week and a half to 10 days, because you couldn't come back and do anything because you're so destroyed, you just kind of fucked the whole thing up because you just put too much water on the plant too soon. So you have to have like just enough water to make everything grow. You want to be able to outwork everybody, but the only way that you can outwork everybody is to put the right amount of work in the gym and then outwork them in the nutrition side of things, in the sleep side of things, mental side of things, the stress side of things. That's where you outwork everybody is there. You can't outwork everybody in just the gym, unfortunately. I wish you could, you just can't. I've been doing this for such a long time, like it's insane. Like I stepped in a gym when I was like 12, and I think I got into like training people when I was like 17, 18. I started like having clients and stuff like that. Now I'm 36, at least like 20 years as a career now at this point in time. And probably haven't gotten like burned out until the last like 5 years probably, where I'm like, I don't like love going to the gym. I think mainly for me is because of injuries. It's mainly my knee. I get little injuries here and there that everybody else gets, but they go away. When the knee is a constant and then you get a shoulder, then it's like, fuck, like I feel like I can't do anything. I think what's really helped me a lot, and if it does help anyone, that'd be great. For me, as soon as like I feel a little bit unmotivated, I like start riding my bike more. I start like, I'm lucky enough to live like near the water and I can paddleboard and stuff. So like I paddleboard a bunch, or I'll sign up for a bike race. Like I remember 2 years ago, I started signing up for like mountain bike races. Changed everything for me. I was so much more motivated to hit my numbers in the gym. I started working out 4 days a week instead of 5. Just so I could like go and have this ridiculously long bike ride that I would do every Saturday. I'd go ride for like 4 hours. I'd come after the 4-hour ride, I'd go eat a ton of food, and then I'd go to the gym, and I realized that just like it wasn't even worth going to the gym anymore, like on that day. But like these little things just made huge differences in my life. Like fucking rollerblading, like adding rollerblading into my week, because I have like this big like boardwalk area I can go down and like rollerblade. Like just like adding stupid shit into my day like made such a big difference. If I could definitely make a recommendation, it would be like sign up for a freaking 5K run, or a half marathon, or sign up for a bike race, or buy a bike, you know, get a ski pass, like do something that you don't normally do, and it makes everything a lot better. Like I feel like you just got to add other stuff. It can't just be the gym all the time. Eventually it'll lose its luster at some point, just because you'll have done so many training cycles and you'll have hit so many PRs, and then eventually you just can't hit any bigger numbers, and you're getting older, so your body doesn't let you hit the bigger numbers, and so then you have to get excited in different ways. That's why I used to do carb cycling. I used to do earn your carbs. I do meat and fruit now. I do this, I do that. That's my way of keeping the whole thing fresh, is like I switch up my diet now. I switch up all sorts of shit. Like I'll switch up the way that I'm training. Like I never did full body training during like my friggin' 15 years as an athlete. I was always doing like something crazy, and I started doing full body style training. And then like I'll do a bro split for a little while. I'll do all sorts of stuff. Typically, people get older, they get into endurance sports just because you don't need as much intensity and strength. You have the mental capacity to do really painful shit. So you wind up doing like long runs or long bike rides. It's just like a pretty natural progression. It makes sense. If you guys have any comments, you have any questions, any video ideas you want from me in the future, please comment below in the captions. I would love to hear them, and I'll see you guys next week.